Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids, The Me Monsters by Jamie Ricks. Today's story is called Kiss and Makeup. At one particular school, in one particular playground, there is one particular spot where one particular girl stands in any particular weather. Her name is Holly Hot Lips. Every day she stands beneath the bars of the kissing tree under a sign that says "Free kisses here," and puckers up her lips in readiness for a snog. But the snog never came, because snogging is something only two people can do, and the boys at this particular school did not want to snog Holly. "Why not?" she wailed one Tuesday lunchtime, as the 200th boy that day walked past her with his nose in the air. "What's wrong with me?" "You're a bit desperate," said an honest lad called Harold Seagoon. "No offence, but a kiss is not a kiss unless you do it with someone like you like." You mean you don't like me?" howled Holly. "I don't know you," he said. Holly gulped back the tears and stepped forward. How do you do?" she said firmly, shaking Harold's hand. "You know me now, so how about it?" "Tempting," laughed Harold. "But you're far too young to be kissed." This thought had never crossed Holly's mind. Then later that night, whilst combing her hair before bed, her reflection said much the same thing. "You know what your problem is?" it said. "I've gone mad," gasped Holly. "When did you start talking?" "Ever since you started listening," said the cunning reflection. "The secret to getting a kiss is looking older." "Looking older?" said Holly. "Gosh, I didn't know that." "Of course you didn't," said the reflection. "That's why it's a secret." And it went on to explain why boys only liked kissing girls who were twice their age. This is rubbish, of course, but Holly didn't know that. A reflection only says what its creator wants to hear, which is why you should never trust one. It's a vain, insubterranean thing, just as much as a me monster, as the person looking in the mirror, and as such is best ignored. But Holly Hot Lips was a silly girl who thought that kissing boys was the most important thing in the world. Such pish-posh deserves everything it gets, which thankfully it did. Egged on by her reflection, the muddle-headed girl made a wish. I wish I looked older," she cried. Then she jumped into bed and waited for her wish to come true. 2 hours later, she was woken by a rat-a-tat-tat on the bridge of her nose. Her eyes sprung open. Though a sleepy haze, she saw a creature hovering above her. It appeared to be 6 inches tall, to be glowing pinky white with mother of pearl, and to something fluttering behind its back. "Are you a fairy?" yawned Holly, still struggling to wake up. "Are you real or part of my dream?" "I'm real, darling," it said, in a husky female voice that dripped with honey and gravel. "You want to age, you and look a dish, so I am here to grant your wish." Holly scrunched up her nose, then opened them again. This time the fog had cleared, and she could see the creature in all its beauty. It was indeed a fairy as striking as a 1950s film star. She had a powdered face, long luscious lashes, ruby red lips, and wavy blonde hair that flickered and curled around her face like a tumbling vine leaves. "You've come to make me older," smiled Holly. Then she realised what was happening. "Pleasure to meet you." "I wish it was," said the fairy. "What you see is not the whole story, I'm afraid. There's somebody I need to warn you about." Before she had finished her sentence, the fairy's head swiveled, her face whizzed around like a spinning top, and came to rest on the back of her head. Only the back of her head wasn't quite as Holly was expecting. Instead of hair, there was a large, unfriendly face with bulbous eyes, a crooked nose, and a long, thin chin covered in grey whiskers. Its cheeks and eyelids were peppered with clusters of tiny warts. And right in the middle of its forehead, looking like a third eye, was a large black verruca. "Does she mean me?" it cackled, as the head span back to the pretty face. "Oh, go away," she ordered her ugly other half. "Gosh," gasped Holly. "You got eyes in the back of your head." "And ears." "And cheeks," sighed the film star fairy. "And a hairy nose as well. You see, I'm called..." The head swapped around to that ugly face. Could interrupt. "We're cold," it snapped before spinning off again. "Ugh. Sorry," said the pretty face. "We're called the Two-Faced Fairy, dear, for rather obvious reasons." "Yes," said Holly. "I think I can guess." "I'm the good fairy." "And I'm the bad," growled the unsightly face, taking over once again. "Well, who wouldn't be? Looking backwards all the time." "Why?" asked Holly. "Because I've got nothing to look forward to," screamed the bad fairy as the tug-of-war started again. "Oh, do stop butting in," shouted the good fairy. "It's not me with a face that looks like a butt," howled the bad fairy, losing her temper almost immediately to her painted sister. "She is so vulgar," said the pretty one. "I'd better get on before she corrupts you forever. Now, Holly, darling, you wish to look older, to get kissed. Nothing could be simpler. My advice is wear lots of makeup." "My advice," shrieked the ugly face, "is grab him by the hair and snog him till his lips turn blue." I'll go with makeup," said Holly sensibly. Blue lips were for whales. "Very wise," said the good fairy. Then she waved her magic wand, and a bundle of makeup materialized and fell onto her bed. "Now, should you need me again, write help on your window with lipstick, and I shall be by your side in the twinkle of a glitter wand." "Twinkle, twinkle, little fart, from whom I wonder did you start?" "Me!" Holly was so happy that she leant forward to give the good fairy a kiss, but just as she did so, the bad fairy span herself round and puckered up right in front of Holly's eyes. Holly screamed and backed away. The bad fairy's lips were so dry and wrinkled, it was like kissing a cat's bottom. Sounds like one of the me monsters has got a frog in his throat. The next day was Wednesday, and for the first time in her life, Holly wore makeup to school. Being a novice, however, she wasn't very good at putting it on. Her face was orange, her cheeks were red, her eyebrows were blue, and her pink mouth was smeared from one ear to the other. She looked ridiculous, but Holly wasn't bothered, because she thought she looked older. The fact that she scared small children on her way to school and newborn babies leaped from their prams with cries of, "Ah, it's a monster!" did not lessen her self-confidence. The fact that when she knelt down to tie up her shoelace, a greengrocer tried to polish her face and pop it in a box of tangerines. It did nothing to dent Holly's belief in her own gorgeousness. She gazed at herself in a shop window and fell in love with how she looked. "I look at least 16, she purred. "Perfect for kissing." At break, however, the sad truth was told when she stood under the kissing tree and waited for her first snog. Instead of luscious lip action, the boys simply screamed and ran away. "I'm not kissing Mr. Punch!" cried one. "Oh, I'm not gonna kiss a freaking clown!" shouted another one. "Come back!" she yelled. "Don't I look older?" The playground felt silent with embarrassment. Who was going to tell her? A snotty junior was the only one brave enough to broach the truth. With that polished orange head of yours, he said, "you look like a conker." Holly Hotlips cried through the rest of break, though late morning lessons, through lunch, through afternoon lessons, through supper, telly and bath, and finally had to stop before she fainted from dehydration. Before she went to bed, she wrote help on the bedroom window and waited for the two-faced fairy to come. "It's obvious what went wrong," said the good fairy 5 minutes later. "You weren't wearing enough makeup." "Oh, is that why the boys wouldn't kiss me?" asked Holly. "Absolutely, darling." "So, it's to do nothing with being unattractive?" "Of course not," poo-pooched the good fairy. "The more makeup you wear, the older you look." "I'm wearing loads," screeched the bad fairy, swivelling into view. "Why are you so bad?" asked Holly all of a sudden. "Why are you so stupid?" "I'm not stupid." "Then why do you cry all day when the boys won't kiss you?" The head revolved swiftly. "That's quite enough poison from you," snapped the good fairy, only to find herself losing face again. "I can't help being bad," howled her dark side. "Ever since a troll stole my face and gave me his instead, I've been in a bad mood. You think I like this ugly old mug? I'll give anything to change it." "Oh, don't get her started," said the good fairy. "Now, where we're here is to make you look older. So..." "I'm not!" shrieked the bad fairy. "The reason I'm here is to get a new face!" The spinning head was starting to make Holly feel dizzy. "So here's what we're going to do," trilled the good fairy, conjuring up another ton of makeup from thin air. "Pop that lot on tomorrow, and I guarantee you'll be fighting the boys off. Then, with a push and a shove and a puff of pink Then, in a push and a shove and a puff of pink smoke, the two-faced fairy was gone. Next morning, Holly rose early and sat in front of her bathroom mirror, applying her makeup. She used oodles of foundation, lashings and mascara, rubbings of rouge, and nearly 3 tubes of lipstick. When she had finished, she left the room, only to re-enter it seconds later with the intention of catching herself unaware. She glanced at herself in the mirror and gasped as if greeting an old and very beautiful friend. "Oh, hi," she chuckled. "No, let me guess. You're 22? It still didn't work. At school, the boys took one look at the multicolored mask on top of Holly's neck and dubbed her Puke Face. Then they ran away. "Don't I look older?" she protested as she fought back the tears. You look ugly like a horrid old troll. It was the snotty junior again. He didn't know it, but a truer word had never been said. Being told that she looked like a horrid old troll brought Holly to her senses. She realised that she had been made to look stupid by her reflection. She didn't need to look older to get a kiss. She didn't need to wear makeup. She just needed to be Holly. And if a kiss was meant to happen, it would happen in its own time. I wish I didn't have any makeup on at all, she cried. And when she got home, her wish had been granted. There was a note on her bed. Dear Holly, sorry the makeup didn't work. Even good fairies could get it wrong. Please accept this free pot of vanishing cream to make up for my mistake. Use it to take your face off tonight. Love and wishes, the good fairy. P.S. Good luck with the snogging. What a good fairy she is, thought Holly, unscrewing the lid from the jar of vanishing cream. Then she gently rubbed the cool white lotion into her face and removed all traces of the hated makeup that had made her look so ridiculous. But when she woke on Friday morning, Holly Hotlips received the shock of her short and shallow life. When she looked in the bathroom mirror, nothing looked back. Apart from her ears, the vanishing cream had made her face vanish. What vanishing cream? Said the good fairy, responding to another cry of help. I didn't give you any vanishing cream. But it was on my bed, sobbed the faceless girl, with this note. Wait a minute, said the good fairy. I know who's responsible for this. Come out here this instant. She yelled, but the bad fairy wasn't putting in an appearance just to be shouted at. She stayed tucked up in the good fairy's hair. You did this, didn't you? Might have done, came the muffled reply. But how was I supposed to know it wasn't from you? Yeah. But how was I supposed to know it wasn't from you, wailed Holly. Because I'm good, and I don't use words like snogging, said the good fairy. It's a horrid word. It's not as bad as tongue sandwich, giggled the bad fairy, or tonsil hockey. Be quiet, shouted Holly. Thanks to your evil trick, I haven't got a face. No, sniggered the bad fairy, but I have. Then, with a whoop of joy, she revealed her makeover in all its glory. Gone was the blobby face of the ugly troll, and in its place was a new pretty face. Holly's, of course. Holly couldn't see it because she didn't have any eyes, but she did have ears, which meant that when the good fairy reassured Holly that getting a new face couldn't be simpler, Holly heard every word. Just paint one with makeup, said the good fairy. Ow! Oh, shut up and give me my real face, yelled Holly. But she lunged into the darkness to catch her tormentor, the two-faced fairy. Skipped out of her reach, blew a raspberry in her ear, and with a tasteless laugh of triumph, vanished the ether. Holly never saw her face, or indeed the two-faced fairy again. With neither mouth or lips, kissing became impossible. For her, she stopped standing under the kissing tree, gave up trying to be snogged, and settled for a life of a child instead. I want to grow up when I'm ready, she told her parents and teachers, and nobody disagreed with her. I'm delighted to say that Holly lives down here now in the hotel darkness, and is deeply unhappy. I don't know why, because she's very popular with other children. It's her blank face, I think. They pin her down on the kitchen floor and play potato face with her. It's a right laugh when they stick different vegetables on the front of her head to give her funny faces, A strawberry nose, a carrot lips, turnip eyes. The other day they gave her slug eyebrows. They stuck the slugs on with cocktail sticks, and they wiggled up and down all night. She looked like a ventriloquist dummy. It was brilliant. I nearly forgot. The end.